Greetings, survival horror fans. EQA Nostalgia here, and today I want to talk to you guys about these video logs that Capcom has been dropping for about a week now on their official channel. Many of my subscribers have reached out to me and they've said, hey man, what's going on? You're not talking about this. It's been going on for like a week. What's the deal? Well, here's the deal, guys. I don't want to cover each and every one of these. I don't want a video for every 30-second teaser clip that Resident Evil or Capcom drops about Resident Evil. That's just not something that I would want to keep up with if I was subscribed to someone. I am not just a YouTuber. I happen to actually subscribe to YouTubers and I support YouTubers and I watch what they do. Me as an audience member, I don't want to see someone talk about every detail. 30 videos leading up to the release of the game, just each little segment. So what I want to do is I want to rope these up in probably about 3 or 4. And now I don't know how many of these Capcom plans on rolling out. I'm assuming they're going to drop tidbits like this for a while, so roping them all up into 3s and 4s I think would be a lot better than talking about each separate one. Today I've got 6 of them for you guys, so I've kind of been slacking a little bit here over the past week or so. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to take it from the top here. We're going to look at the very first video log they released, and it's called Mysterious Caller. I have to say I love what I'm seeing from the interior decoration here. Very old school Resident Evil 1-ish. You're seeing a lot of hallway stuff. But the main takeaway from this is this sounds a lot like Ada Wong. Some people are saying Ada, some people are saying it sounds like Jessica, and other people are saying, I don't know, it could be a new character altogether. Personally, I'm hoping it's Ada Wong. I think this might be the only thing that really ties a known character from the series to the game. It's really the only thing that we have to go off of that says, hey, somebody might actually be recognizable in this game. And I think that's a cause of concern for some people. They're thinking, hey, is it just going to be a new protagonist and antagonist and we don't really get to see any of the old crew? It would be nice to see a return, at least Ada tying things together. So if this is her, that's something that I'm definitely going to be excited for. Next up, we have the appropriately named Shotgun in the Box. This has to be one of my favorite ones because, well, inventory boxes for the win. And everybody loves a shotgun. I like the fact that it takes up 2 spaces like it did in Resident Evil 4. I think they used that in like 5 and 6 as well. To be honest with you guys, I stopped paying attention because I really stopped giving a shit. But it's nice to see them add that feature in there. Obviously, when things are in the inventory box, you don't have to worry about that. It's just your player inventory on the go. So you're going to have to manage space. I've said for years that inventory management is a big part about Resident Evil. If you don't have that, then you really don't have decisions that matter as much, right? When you're standing at the inventory box, you should be thinking, fuck, what do I want to bring to this fight? I know there's a boss fight coming up, and should I bring more shotgun ammo or should I bring more herbs? This is something that should be going through your head. It's something that really is at the core of Resident Evil, more so than even zombies. In my opinion, that's been known to piss more than a few people off, but that's just the way I view it. It's something that is essential in a Resident Evil title, and they're showing us that they're doing that again. Next up, we've got Recorder. And this one's interesting because they're showing you the save system and how that's going to function. A lot like a typewriter. And I do have to say, part of me misses the typewriter already. But part of me is like, hey, this makes sense because we're going through and we're finding these audio logs of what's happened. So it's kind of like you're leaving your own audio logs. And it makes me think, at this point I start to think and I go into like theory conspiracy land, and I think maybe in a future Resident Evil we'll be able to find tapes from our character and we'll be able to like replay sequences or something like that. I don't know. It's something that's interesting, and I think they can do a lot with it in the future, story-wise if they want to. And I see why they changed from typewriter to recording with a tape. I think it's very, I don't want to say it's brilliant or genius or anything, but it works. It makes sense. And it's another classic thing that a lot of us wanted to see. Is it necessary? No, it's not. From a technical standpoint, you don't have to go to a save point anymore. It doesn't work like that. But hey, you know what? It's cool. It's all good. Now, I have heard that the game's going to have save points in it automatically for like checkpoints and stuff as well as that. But I'm not certain how liberal those are going to be. I'm sure it depends on the difficulty. But nevertheless, being able to save your game with a tape recorder for the win. Next clip is really short. It's called Stock Up, but it's interesting because it shows the knife and it shows that you can break things much like Resident Evil 4. You definitely get that Resident Evil 4 vibe from this particular scene right here when he cuts that open and takes that. But more interesting here is you can see him cutting the tape with the knife, and it makes you wonder if you're going to need the knife in order to get through certain puzzles and progress the game. Now, before some smart ass hops down in the comment section and says, well, this is called stock up, he's probably just getting ammunition. Yeah, probably. He's probably just getting ammunition right there. But I think it does show that the knife is something that you're going to have to use to get past things. Who remembers using the combat knife in the first Resident Evil to get past the spider webs? I do. So hopefully they make it useful again. I do miss the classic badass Rambo style combat knife, but hey, I'll settle for a pocket knife. It's cool. Next up on our list, we have Survive, and this is very basic. It just shows you healing yourself, but the way he applies it is not very traditional. You can see him just going, oh, I've fucked up my hand here, so what I need to do now is I need to make a little bit of first aid med. And first aid med, I guess now, instead of being a spray, you just kind of douse your hand or your wound in it, and it heals you up. Doesn't really make sense. But then again, first aid sprays don't really make sense either. When a tyrant slices you across the chest and you just go, yeah, I'm good, and you pick up a rocket launcher and stuff it in his face, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But hey, I appreciate the effort to put in the extra animation and stuff like that. It's switching it up a little bit, but they're showing you that this does function like first aid from back in the day. Last but certainly not least, we have what seems to be the fan favorite right now. It looks like Jack Baker is beating the shit out of you. I can't really discern if that's him or not, or just a regular enemy. But this is called Immortal, and it's very much channeling that Nemesis vibe. The guy goes down, and take a look at this, guys. He even bleeds out like the original Resident Evil used to. Remember when zombies would go down? If they didn't bleed out, you knew they'd get back up. It was kind of an indicator. So you see him bleed out, and the traditional Resident Evil in your brain is saying, okay, he's dead. I'm going to go and just take off here. Probably look for some first aid because I'm fucking dying. Oh, shit, he's getting back up. So you get that Nemesis vibe. I want to say that that's Jack Baker, but I don't know. I know they did say that the enemies in this game, you're going to want to be really careful how you approach them. They're going to be bigger threats. It's not like they're going to be throwing, endless zombies after you that you can put down with ease, but there's just tons of them. It seems like they're sticking to their guns, and they're going to make enemy encounters something that really is panic-inducing. So that is it for volumes 1 through 6, guys. One thing that I have to say, I don't think I've mentioned before, I like what they're doing with this smartwatch kind of thing. It monitors your vitals and it shows you your condition instead of having to go into the menu like you used to back in the day. Well, not only that, but they've brought it back. It's really fucking sweet the way they did it. You're gonna glance over at your watch, and in VR I can see how that's going to work. You're just gonna kind of turn your head and you can see how your health is doing. It's not anything groundbreaking. I can't really say it's innovative, but it's cool to see how they took old ideas and they used our modern tech to make them make sense. I really dig that. So just in closing, I have to say, as I sit here with a giant shit-eating grin on my face, pretty much every bit that I took away from every one of those volumes is Capcom is telling us, hey, remember when you used to like inventory chests? Remember save rooms? Remember when you used to like it when Nemesis would chase you and you never knew if you were going to get away from him? He's like the fucking T-1000 smashing through walls and getting back up. You remember the way Resident Evil used to be? Well, that's what we're giving you here. So stop talking shit because it's in first person. And, I am a little smug about that. It's something that I'm trying to just downplay a little bit because it's not a very good quality in an individual. Nobody likes that in somebody, right? But I've been saying this since the beginning, and it's shaping up to be that. And I'm taking this one, damn it, because after what happened with Resident Evil Outbreak HD, that's still like a huge gaping wound. So I'm taking this win, guys, and I'm going to say I was right. Obviously, we're not going to know until it's in our hands, but I will be covering this leading up to release, and I will be playing it here on the channel for you guys to check out. So if you have not hit that subscribe button, you might want to do that now. But at this point, I want to kick it over to you guys. Let me know what you think about this video and everything that we've seen over the past week down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to rate it thumbs up. I thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.